Welcome to the Master Key Club. Yeah, we've always called it a Master Key class. Well, it's changing a little bit. You are now in the Master Key Club. And we are about to go into some areas that we haven't been in a long time. But I can't wait because this is a part of our lives. So many things are going on in the world, and I wanted to make sure that we got back into this class. So not only do we talk about spiritual things, but we also talk about historical things and how history and our spirituality connects and is interwoven with each other. And not only that, what's going on in our culture? What's going on with us as human beings? You know, we're heading into voting. We're heading into areas where we have to make decisions about how our government is going to be, how our lives are going to be. And I hear people tell me all the time, well, that's about voting and that's about politics. Well, I don't go to church for politics. And then there are people who said, can't you talk more about social meetings in church and what's going on in society? So there are people in church don't want to hear about politics. People in the political realm don't want to hear about spiritual things. So we wonder, where do we put these things? Well, everything has a cubicle. Everything has a place. And that's what we're hoping the Master Key Club will enable us to do, to put everything in its proper space and its proper space. Listen, how many of you you hear people constantly talk about this thing, you need to vote. I'm talking about vote, you got to vote, and then they'll wring their hands and they'll talk. After all, our ancestors, they died and they gave their lives and they bled for the right to vote. Listen, not only have we heard it, but I've also said it, I've preached it, and usually you're always talking down to the little young generation. What's wrong with you guys? We gave our lives, we marched until the bottom of our feet turned ragged just to get you all to vote, and now you're talking about you don't want to vote. And I thought about that. And I said, well, let me step back for a moment and maybe let me look at it from a different angle. Because sometimes we don't always realize how important some things are or how unimportant. And I ask people on my radio show and things of that sort, people say, well, I don't vote. I don't vote because my vote don't count. Well, first of all, how do you know that? And we could go down that road. How do you know that your vote doesn't count? And if somebody wants to take something away from you and constantly talking about it, maybe it is something that is that important. Well, I don't even want to go down that road. Here's what I want to say. If there is somebody who stands up in front of us and says to me or you, I want to do something for this community. And we say, what do you want to do? And they turn around and says, well, I want to help clean up that block over there that's the dirtiest. I noticed that the streets are very, very dirty, and I want to be able to clean up that block. So we stand up and we ask them, well, how are you going to clean it up? Well, we're going to need a machine because we can't get that many people out with a broom to sweep it because it's too big. Okay, let's get a machine. Well, if you want a machine, it's going to cost money. Okay, it's going to cost money. How much is it going to cost? It's going to cost several $100,000. Okay, can you get the machine? Yes, I know the people where we can get it. If you'll get me into the government, if you will get me this job of representative, I can get you the machine. And by getting the machine, I'll bring the machine to our city and we'll hire some people to use the machine to clean up the block. So you'll have clean streets, a clean block, and you'll also have people who have jobs. So what you're saying is, if I hire you, hear what I just said. If I hire you, you will get that block clean and we'll be able to jog, go to Starbucks or whatever restaurant we're in, breathe a fresh block air and enjoy it. That's right. If you hire me. You see, notice I didn't say if you vote for me, but if you hire me. I think that's where we miss it sometimes. People are asking for our vote. Vote for me. But what I'm saying is this. I'm asking a question. Why should I hire you? See, because that's what the issue is. The issue is that I am hiring you to do something. So now you got two people. One person's a Republican, one person's a Democrat. Maybe you got another party, but let's just deal with these two because it's easy. So both of them standing up there, and one says, I want to clean up the block, but I want to use this machine. The other one says, we don't need to clean that block. We need to get more people out with brooms. And if we get more people out with brooms, then we can save money and be conservative, and we can take that money and we can pay down the debt of our city. Somebody, come on, help me here. And then the other person says, yes, but we can put more people to work if we got a machine. One person seems to be boring, the other person seems to be excited. And one says, vote for me and I'll set you free. The other one says, well, if I can get your vote, I'll be. And so we're sitting there saying, you know what? That person seems more excited. Maybe I should vote for that person because I like that person more. Or that person's more local. I like the way that person looks. I like the way they dress. I like the way she carries herself. I like the way he has a flower in his lapel. Or I like, but here's the point. You don't vote because you like people. You don't hire somebody, watch this, because you like them. You hire them because you believe they can do what you need. And what I need that road clean, that block clean the best way it can. So that's what a vote is. Your vote is hiring somebody. So look at it this way. So I really don't care what church you go to. Come on now. This is not spirituality. Well, I'm a Christian, and because I'm a Christian, I will clean that road. Christians do not clean roads better than Muslims. Muslims don't clean roads better than Hindus. Nobody cleans roads better than their religion. Because I'm going to be honest with you. You can go into a grocery store. I've said it before and I'll say it again. Pitch your tent. Put a sleeping bag down there and live in a grocery store. But if you never get up and get cookies off the shelf or get meat and get a frying pan and cook, you can starve in a grocery store. You can live in a library and be ignorant. You can go to church, go to hell. You can do that. And you can be in political office and put money in your pocket, but never get things done for other people because you believe, why should I? They're not going to vote me out, because I'm here to tell you, If you believe that people will vote you out, or let me not say vote you out, if people will fire you after 2 years, that's how long it takes for a congressman to be there. If people will fire you and you're saying, well, wait a minute, what's going on? I thought, I stay in Congress for years and years and years. And after 5 years, I think it's after 4 or 5 years, you get benefits. I get health care and I get benefits. And I'm waiting to get my stuff. Why are you firing me so early? Because you didn't get done what we hired you for. And every 2 years, you got to hire this person. Here's my point. If you don't get what you need, it's because you don't hire. If we don't get what we need, it's because we keep hiring the same people who won't do anything and don't believe we'll fire them. Listen, politics is not relationship. We work on our relationships. We work on being together and dating and going out and enjoying each other's company. That has nothing to do with politics. Even in our spirituality, just because you're a Christian does not mean I have to like you. Well, if you don't like me, you're going to hell. No, that's not true. That's the biggest lie in the world. I'm not hiring you because you're a Christian. I'm not hiring you because you're a believer. I'm not hiring you. That should not even enter into the contract. Can you do the job? Look, I believe that our spirituality does motivate us. And I believe it is important for us to carry that spirituality within, to understand that God that is within us. So that when we go to work or to help other people, we're doing it because we believe we can do something good for people. But don't expect people to hire you for a political job just because you say you're a Christian or say you are a believer. Because just because you believe it about yourself, it don't make it true. Welcome to the Master Key Club. Take a moment. Take some time right here. You can text and give. You can do all those things right here, right now, right in this space. And it'll let us know, hey, you want to hire us to make sure your spirituality keeps pumping, because that's what we're going to do. You don't have to like me, but I'm going to keep that truth coming. All right? All right. Hello, this is Dr. Ed. Le fleur, flower, French, comes from a root word which gives us affluence. I believe that affluence is like a figure 8. It goes not just around in a circle, but it weaves around and it picks up things as it goes along. We talk about giving when we talk about seed planting. We always talk about that. Put a seed in the ground and the flower comes up. But once that flower has its structure, once the flower comes up out of the ground, from that point on, you never have to plant a seed again. The flower reproduces by opening up, and a bee comes along or an insect, and it smells, or however it senses, that sweet nectar in that flower, and that flower is willing to give of that nectar. And then the bee goes along, finds another flower, and then it says, boy, that nectar was sweet. I want some more. But what the bee has done is it picked up pollen from the previous flower, takes the pollen to the next flower takes the pollen and uses it to reproduce. So what you have is giving and receiving. And you have to give a sweetness, something that makes sense. And you receive, and through your giving and receiving, you reproduce. That's what ALC has done for 40 years. Our goal is to provide the sweetest nectar so that when you give, you also receive and you reproduce in your life. Take a moment right now, and if not now, make sure you do it right after this, and go to our website, myalc.org. That's myalc.org. Click the donate button and give your best gift right now. And like so many, you can use your phone, and you can use that text to give. And all you got to do is dial 713-742-2035. That's 713-742-2035. Type in the amount you're going to give. $40, $140, whatever you're doing. We're doing 40 because it's our 40th anniversary. But whatever you do, make it your best gift. Do it from your heart. Because you know what? You are going to reproduce. And you're going to reproduce in such a way, God's going to do amazing things in your life. Thank you so much for all of your contributions. And thank you for what you're about to do right now. Okay? All right.